Hello folks, Uncle Roddus back here with a bit of a video going down. Could be quite a long one actually. I've got quite a bit. It's been about 6 weeks since my last video, and yeah, I've picked up quite a bit of stuff, mostly online shopping, but I got back into Fish Pond after quite a few years away from it. Mainly because they've been one of the cheaper options, and their shipping is pretty good. Shipping from overseas is just shocking. Not many places you can buy from now. The shipping usually is more than the records, so you're basically doubling your price of your LP. So that puts LPs up around $100 or more sometimes. It's certainly up into the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah, if you can pick them up locally. But yeah, anyway, look, enough prattling on. So the pile is looking a bit disorganised, so we'll just crank into it. These are the most recent arrivals. I haven't even played it yet. Came a couple of days ago, but we've been away over the weekend, so I haven't had a chance to. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, this is one of their latest. So they have released 2 studio LPs this year. The Silver Cord. This is the second one. No, this might be the first one that they've released. It's just on black vinyl. This is one of their own versions of this particular one. They put their LPs up on the internet, and people can then actually make their own pressings, but this is their actual pressing themselves. This is flight B471, so this is the latest one. Again, haven't listened to it, just on the black vinyl. So yeah, those two are the most recent arrivals. And then I did a quick shop up from Real Groovy in Auckland. Actually, I was picking up a poster, and I don't know where the other record is, and I picked up 2. I bought 2 records off them that were reasonably well priced, reissues, just so that the poster was pretty cheap. It's a cool poster. It's actually that Johnny Cash one giving the bird. That was taken at Folsom, or no, it must have been San Quentin prison back in '69. Yeah, so I picked up a couple of LPs so that I didn't have to pay postage. If you spend over $100, you don't have to pay postage. So I picked up a copy of this on vinyl. Finally, I haven't had it on vinyl for. Actually, I don't know if I ever had it on vinyl. My original copy of this was a cassette back in the 80s, when I discovered it, when I was in my teens. This is a 2020 repress. This is the remastered, that Jimmy Page remastered back in 2015. Gatefold. So it's not the deluxe double LP version that came out in 2015, which where they put in a second disc of outtakes, so to speak, which I have on CD. I did pick them up on CD when they came out, because I was only just barely getting back into vinyl at that stage. So absolutely fantastic album, love it, and that sounds absolutely stunning. I really like the remasters that Jimmy did. I was listening to my original CDs, and I was thinking, these are not that hi-fi. They were put out in the 90s maybe, because I've had them for decades. But yeah, these sound so much better. I don't have any originals, so I don't know what the originals are like. They've always been talked about as being pretty good, but the CDs, anyway, these sound really good. So I had this cranking the other day, and Whole Lot of Love just blew me out of the room. This one is a new one just arrived, so I had an uncut magazine that I picked up that my wife brought home from the library, and I was reading some of the reviews in it and got a bit itchy on the mouse. And this is Waxahachie, Tiger's Blood. This is her latest LP. I've seen her stuff around. Oh, it's on Anti. I've seen her stuff around and records around online. I didn't know much about her, but this got a really good review, and so I thought I'd give it a go. And I've played it a couple of times, and I am really enjoying it. It's pretty laid back, and that. So, yeah. And then another lot of fish pond stuff that came in was some more King Gizzard, because I haven't actually bought any King Gizzard for quite a while, and for a considerable part of this year, actually. Just because I've had, like I say, it's been early in the year, it's been pretty little, work's been pretty slow. It's really good at the moment, work's pretty busy. I had a huge day today. I actually did 11 hours today. I was in the, I actually can't sleep at the moment. My bloody foot is buzzing away with my sciatica, and it's really fucking annoying me and keeping me awake. So, live at Levitation in 2014. So I picked these up through Fish Pond and got them pretty cheap. These are on... Who released these? I don't know. Official bootlegger. I don't know who's doing these. Cover... if I was on Discogs, I would be able to tell you. Alright. I don't know who's actually releasing them, but as you can see, that's on a green vinyl. This one, there's so many live. There's so many. These guys are like the Grateful Dead of the 21st century, aren't they? They are recording. Just so many of their concerts are getting recorded. As I say, what they do is they put them, they mix them, put them up online in like, uncompressed versions for people to actually grab them offline, and then they can press them at their own leisure. And then I also picked up this one live at Levitation in 2016. It's out by the same label, and I really wish I could tell you what label it was. And this is a double LP, and this one is on the nice red vinyl. And finally, from that Fish Pond order, so that's, I'm not going to play these a lot, to be honest, live LPs. I mean, there's so many of them, and I've already got another half dozen or more of the live LPs. Oh, plus I got that 12 LP live box set at Red Rock set my wife got me for Christmas. So I have so much live KG, and I've never seen them live myself because they've actually never played down here. They did play in the North Island last year as part of a festival, but... and the last one is live in Sydney in 2021. This one's a triple LP. And again, it's on the same label as the other two. And this one is on a... that one I haven't actually taken out of the sleeve yet and played it. Now, this is one of these utterly horrible plastic sleeves, and then I just pulled that record out. It was almost stuck to the sleeve. I haven't actually put new sleeves on this one yet. I thought I played this one. I thought I played part of one of them. I've certainly played one disc of it. So yeah, like I say, I will get... I'm decided I'm gonna try and get all of the King Gizzard stuff, even all the live ones. I mean, I'm now down to... I've got about 2 or 3 studio records. I'm a bit behind on those, but they're some early ones. Actually, one of them is a... Triple LPs are a pain. One of them is eluding me a little bit. But yeah, I think there's about 3 that I don't have. And then there's probably another 7 or 8 live ones that I don't have, but then there's another live 6 or 7 disc live one that came out, and then another one has just come out that's about 5 discs that someone pointed out to me. I got into town the other week, a week or so ago, a bit more maybe. Why was I in town? Oh yeah, I had some chores to do, basically. So got to Penny Lane, and I got to ride on Super Sound, which I don't get to often. Actually, I got to Penny Lane, and I picked up something very special, and then I was heading. Did I buy anything else that day? Oh, I have to show you in a minute. See as I get through the poll. I went in to ride on Super Sound. I was actually driving past, about to head home, and then I thought, hey, hang on, I'm driving past, and I knew they never open at the times I'm normally around, but it was a weekend, and they were open because it was like in the afternoon, and I picked up some of the records off these. This is Stalker. This is a 12-inch single. I've got both their LPs. I didn't really look that closely at it. I mean, it was cheap. I didn't look that closely at it. If I realised it was a single, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But it's a 12-inch single. So, and it's on a vinyl, dark red vinyl. They're a heavy metal band. I can't remember where they come from. Somewhere up north. I've got both their LPs. New Zealand band. I haven't actually played this one yet. And I haven't cleaned any of these yet. I've got to have a big cleaning session and give them all a big clean up. So yeah, that's Stalker heavy metal, and also from Roddus. Roddus has got they've got quite an unusual selection. A lot of stuff. They got a lot of garagey sort of rockabilly stuff. They got a lot of New Zealand stuff. A lot of New Zealand stuff. And quite often you see New Zealand stuff in their shop that they don't have. You don't see in other places. And they happen to have a copy of this, which I've never seen, have no idea what it was. New Zealand band, well, it's not a band, it's an artist called Wallowitch. The record's called Purple Death, and that being said, it's on a very dark purple, which probably looks almost black on the screen there, but that's very dark purple. Actually, this is a young lady from Wellington, and this is kind of really dark electro, gothic electro. I haven't totally connected with it yet. There is some good stuff on here. It's a wee bit little patchy maybe, but yeah, that was something really I'd never had no idea, and I saw it. I mean, one of the good things about local vinyl is you can pick it up pretty cheap. These guys are pretty much selling their records at cost almost. They're not going to sell many copies. They're not going to make any money out of them. It's purely a hobby. Another one I got from Fish Pond after reading that Uncut. And there's still some on the way, which they haven't got hold of them for some reason. I've got about 3 more from Fish Pond, but it's been over a month actually, so it's not looking good. I did get a message saying, "Oh, we can't actually source this one from our usual supplier. We're going to go look elsewhere," and I haven't heard anything back from them. So anyway, but I read about a review of this one. This is a band called Big Brave, and the record's called Chaos of Flowers, and they are from Canada. And they've been around a few years, and this is something like their 3rd or 4th record, maybe more, maybe in their 5th, I can't remember, out this year. This is like, fuck me, this is good. This is really good. It's quite distorted. Last record I bought by Low was like that. When they remixed it, they added like a layer of distortion over it. And I've heard people talk about that. One of the local record producers that I know, he was talking about doing that with stuff. But anyway, this band is really low, really slow. The band Low is a good comparison. Yeah, I really dig this. It has been brilliant. Really getting into it. It's quite they've done a really good job of this record. That's a firm favourite. one of our local bands. I got this off their Bandcamp page. I have shown this band before. This is called Old Man Pine. That's the name of the band. Swamp Stomps. So they are a swamp rock band from the North Island, self-released. This is their second release. I think I showed their first one probably quite some time ago. And this is really good, and the first one was really good, which is why I jumped on this. The guitar player is really good on this. They got a really good. I mean, they're a real amateur band basically. They're just a hobby band, you know. I don't know how much touring they do. I'd love to see them come down here and play. They might do one day, you know, when they get time, money. You know, no one's going to see them because hardly anyone knows who they are. But awesome band. Yeah, really pleased to get that. So that's only just come out the last month or so. Oh, there it is. So the other Led Zeppelin that I picked up from Real Groovy when I bought that poster is this one. Again, the 2020 reissue, remixed by Jimmy Page back in 2015. Again, this sounds very stunning. I mean, great. They're good pressing, so, you know, at that price, they were pretty cheap. I might even jump on the other two that I really like, which is 1 and 3. I've got presents. I did actually pick up presents. I've actually got an original of presents that I got given to me, and I've also got I got the reissue that came out in 2015 of Presents. I picked that up, you know, the double LP deluxe version, and I trashed the actual first copy of the vinyl with it, and I had it sitting on its cover on the floor, and I fucking dropped something on it and basically smashed it. Couple more that I picked up from Ride On Super Sound. This one's sort of been vaguely on my radar for many years. This came out in 2017, and the band's called Scumbag College, and that's a cool name. And the obvious reference from Scumbag College was the Young Ones TV program from the UK back in the early 80s, and the Young Ones were going to Scumbag College. That was the name of the college they went to. This is really pretty lo-fi, skronky sort of shit. I don't know. I'm a bit disappointed with it, actually. I mean, like I say, it was something that I'd heard about and may have heard something on one of Chris Walker's shows many years ago. Not sure how they even have a copy it right on Super Sound, but you know, like I say, it's 2017 it came out, and I paid like $30 for it, even though it's brand new. So, you know, can't complain. But I'm not sure whether I actually like it that much. The other one I picked up, the last one I picked up from them that day was this one, again on my want list. God Bows to Math, Brighter Futures. These guys have 2 LPs. This is their first one or their second one. Anyway, I think they got a couple other releases that went on vinyl, but this is quite old. It was out quite a few years ago on Musei Records. Is this instrumental? I've only played it the once so far. I quite liked it. It's quite good. Yeah. I say that's been on my want list for a while, and that's going to come away one of these days. Like I say, these local releases, they are just, I mean, you pretty much find them at cost. I mean, I paid $26 for that, and it's a brand new record. I mean, I'll get through this one. I've got a couple more New Zealand ones. So this is the last of the uncut recommendations that come through Fish Pond. Now, what is this called? The album's called Humble as the Sun, and the band is called Bob Villain. Here we go. Out of the UK, out this year. I think this may be self-released, actually. How do I describe this? Well, it was sort of come across as rap punk or punk rap, and yeah, I suppose it is kind of in a way. I'm not sure if I've actually connected with this yet. I've only played it a couple of times because I've been playing so much of that big Brave one, much more, because that's so good. But I'll give it a few more spins and see if it grabs me. Otherwise, I'll trade it. Another one off Bandcamp that I picked up. I think I was pretty sure it's Bandcamp. This is Displeasure Vortex of Shit. This is actually an offshoot band of Unsanitary Napkin, and Unsanitary Napkin are sort of a politico punk band from up in Wellington. This is just on black vinyl. Who I have both of their records that they've put out. I think is it 2 records, and this is an offshoot of them, but so it's the singer's the same, and the way she sings or he sings, I'm not sure it's a male or female on these. They're pretty raw vocals. The vocals don't grab me that much, but this is more electro punk. This is more electronic punk. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool record. I do like it. So that's pretty unusual. These records like this, probably only a couple of hundred pressed, if that. And then the last of the New Zealand ones that I have picked up recently was this one, the new Vostellen. This is their second release. This one's on Flying Nun, as was their first one. Also out via Feral Child Recordings. This is 2 sidelong tracks. This was banned as kind of a New Zealand cut-out rocky sort of band. I'm not sure if I like this as much as their first one, but a few other people are raving how great it is. I mean, it is. They are a cool band, and I certainly had to jump on it when I saw it had come out. I think I got that off their Bandcamp. Okay, finally, my little trip to Penny Lane the other day. I've been trying to find a copy of this for ages on vinyl, and it just doesn't seem to turn up in the shops here very often. A lot of this artist's other material turns up reasonably frequently, and I have picked up a lot of the new reissues that I've been showing that this artist has had come out. Unfortunately, he's long dead now, but this LP is one that I had an original like this back in the 80s, mid-80s. I came across it, and it became my favourite album of all time. And after nearly 40 years, 1986 I think it was, and I got it. After 38 years, it's still at the top of my all-time favourite list. And here it is. Yes, the Mothers of Invention. And so I haven't had this on vinyl since 1998 when I sold all my records. The version, the one that I had was practically falling to pieces. It got absolutely thrashed for those sort of 12 years that I had a copy of it. I have the Ryko early 90s reissue on CD. Most of my Zappa collection is on CD. Has been for the last 25, 30 years nearly, pretty much. Since those were all done back then. They sound okay. This sounds really nice. It does sound really nice. I absolutely blasted it out the other day when the wife went out for a couple of hours. So this is actually the New Zealand press, the original New Zealand press, on the Verve. So what happened was this, from what I believe, from what I can see at Discogs, this never got released in New Zealand originally back in 1966 when it came out. This came out the same year I did. This got released in 1972 in New Zealand. So this is the polygram version. It's still on Verve, so I believe Verve got bought up by Polygram, and they did a reissue of this all around the world in 1972, and this is the one that came out in New Zealand. And I'm pretty sure that my original copy that I had back in the 80s and 90s was also the New Zealand version. So really, really, really pleased to have this. So what I wouldn't mind is getting is the 2015 Zappa Family reissue, because some of those have been sounding absolutely stunning. I showed Zootalures? No. Waka Jawaka, I showed that recently. I picked up a copy of that not too long ago, the reissue, and it is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, I will pick up one day when I find it the 2015 reissue, which is number one on the reissue, Zappa Family reissue, and I wouldn't mind picking up an original US copy just to see what they're like. This is going to get played quite a lot. Okay, well that's all the records that I've got over the last sort of 6 or 7 weeks. So quite a pile, as you can see, and I only got 3 more to come from Fishpond. What I did pick up also, I got from the UK. They weren't overly expensive, but they weren't cheap either. But I'm really enjoying them. Is this Uncut magazine has put out these little magazines of 500 greatest LPs, and they've done the 60s, they've done the 70s, they've done the 80s, the 90s, and they've done the 2000s. So 500 records each year. Lots of the biggest LPs, of each decade. Some of the biggest selling. So I'm not sure how it all worked out, but I guess it's done from the staff, the writers, and all that sort of stuff. I don't know how they voted it all. So it's probably very subjective list of records, but being 500 in each magazine, there's a shitload that I'm not familiar with. And interesting, like this generation, this decade, there was a hell of a lot of jazz. Of course, there's all the rock stuff, there's all, pretty much all the Beatles and the Dylans and the early Zeppelins and the, all of the what you would expect to see. But there's also a hell of a lot of jazz, there's some country, there's some reggae LPs, there's even a few kind of avant-garde classical sort. There's Stockhausen, there's Terry Riley. It's an impressive list. I mean, people go, why isn't this in there? Or this is only at number 457. No, 475. I don't know, somewhere around there. I mean, that's ridiculous. That should be a top 10, shouldn't it? Really, should be. But who cares, really? It's just really good going through these and looking at all the cool records. There's a little tiny write-up on each of them. As you get to the top 10, they're ranked from 500 down to number 1. They get longer and longer articles on each LP, and then the last top 10 get pretty much a page each, some of them even more. So just quickly, I'll show you what's that there doing? 20 most collectible albums of the 60s. I didn't remember seeing that page. 20 most collectibles. Huh. Interesting. I've got some of those, but I probably haven't got the original collectible copies. Right, so number 1 in the 1960s, Velvet Underground and Nico. Great album. So, just about every great LP list that I've ever seen was topped by either Sgt. Pepper or Pet Sounds. So it's quite refreshing to see that LP at number 1, and it is pretty fucking good. The 1970s, the number 1 album from the 1970s is Marquee Moon. So that's pretty cool. That's an album. I have that one. I have this one. So I have both those ones. Marquee Moon is not one that I'm really familiar with. I do have a copy. I do have a reissue copy of it, but I haven't picked it up all that long ago. I don't have the number 1 LP from the 1980s. It is Kate Bush, and the LP is Hounds of Love. So yeah, I don't actually have any Kate Bush. I do have the #2 LP though, Remain a Light. That is, well, that Talking Head LP, not the LP. That really is me. For me, it's the Once in a Lifetime song, which was one that really blew my mind when I was like about 14 years old, and I heard it late one night on the radio. And the #1 LP of the 1990s, it's another one I don't have actually, and I've never heard it, is My Bloody Valentine. Loveless. I'm familiar with it. I've seen it on so many top album lists. So, and lastly, before I go, the #1 LP for the 2000s, and again, it's another one I don't have, though I'm quite familiar with it, is LCD Sound System, Sound of Silver, which was an album of the year, uncut album of the year at some stage when I was collecting the magazine. So anyway, look, that's me. So I'm going to spend a lot of time with these, and I'm actually going to listen to a lot of them, the ones that I don't know so much, and that might actually be doing a bit of dictating of my buying over the next few years. But anyway, okay, it's like 12:30. No, it's not. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, so I should really go to bed. Catch you next time.